I think it'll be El Cantante, written by Ruben Blades, made famous by Hector Lavoe. It's such an anthem, and it deals with a singer and how, you know, people pay to go see him, but they don't quite understand what happens outside of off the stage, and how him being a human being with feelings and maybe like the clown that smiles with the tears behind his eyes, you know? So I think that would be kind of the theme song.
Sencillo, el orfanato.
I pretend to understand love and relationships, but I have no clue.
Why is that?
Because I feel that I learn something new about women every day. I learn something different about my girlfriend all the time. And yeah, it's like this learning process, and I feel like I've been on this like curve that I need to get off of and really like focus. I think deep down inside human nature, I feel like we don't want to be alone. I think people fear just being alone. And being in love just feels so good, you know? And can hurt also a lot. So it's this, I don't know, for me it's like this dynamic energy that brings all of us together and maybe sometimes tears us apart as well. So it's a feeling of being alive, you know? I feel like being in love makes me feel alive. Various ways. I feel like I dove into my work and really focused on that. And also, that's the healthy part. That's the healthy way that I dealt with it. I think the unhealthy way that I dealt with it was that I tried to fill this hole that I felt within myself and this lack of confidence that I felt after getting my heart broken. I tried to fill that void with the attention of women and kind of like these meaningless interactions that just fed my ego, and that kind of helped. We live our lives through perception, I feel. And so there's always going to be a skewed perception of who you are unless you kind of do these kind of things where you just, oh wow. Getting a call to go on a tour with Def Poetry Jam. And it was my first ever tour. It was, I spent a month in Edinburgh, Scotland. And just traveling gave me this whole new view of where I was from, about my community, the country I live in, and how people see it outside of here. And how, like, I found myself many a time trying to be like having these conversations with people like from Britain or from Europe after seeing this heavy show with poets that are like kind of really progressive and talking all these political stuff. And I kind of found that people took that opportunity to finally, it's okay for them to say what they feel to me. Because it's like, okay, they said it already, so, and then they're like, you know what, you're right, man, your country's fucked up. You know?
You're like, really?
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for that, fucker.
How I would tell someone what does it mean to be American? You know, that's something that I'm still trying to figure out in a lot of ways. So it's hard to answer that question because in a lot of ways, I'm still struggling with the idea of considering myself American. Which is interesting because I was born and raised in the Bronx and things like that. I speak perfect English. But yeah, I identify myself with my Puerto Rican heritage so much so and it's been ingrained in me throughout my life, being the family I come from. So yeah, I kind of consider myself Puerto Rican before American, casting stuff, you know what I mean? I'm an actor as well, so I always find myself kind of in between. Like, I'm too Puerto Rican to play the white guy, but I'm kind of too fair-skinned to be the Puerto Rican kid. So it's a weird place where I'm in, and you know, so that I feel is interesting. There's power in numbers, and when people are united they have strength, you know? So for the Latino community, let's just use them as the example. If you look at the numbers of all the people in New York alone that have some sort of Latino heritage and bloodline, whether it be Puerto Rican, Dominican, Guatemala, South American, Mexican, whatever. Imagine all those people kind of thinking the same and acknowledging their buying power, acknowledging their voting power and all this stuff. It'll be a very different landscape, you know? And then that comes from so many years of colonial mindset, poverty, and people. Why you think it's interesting to me, like, poor people buy the most shit. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I grew up in the projects, and some of my friends' houses in the projects were like decked out flat screen TVs and all that shit. But they spend their lives paying for it. In the classroom that I just left, we were talking about the difference between theater and film and TV. And one of the main differences that we kind of came up with was that in a lot of ways, film and TV are meant to kind of sell you something. Whether it be an idea, whether it be a product. Like, you know, look at commercials in between TV shows. Blatant. Set on your sign. You know, product placement in these shows. It's like Pepsi. Boom, boom, shootout. Wait a minute. Pepsi.
I'm thirsty for shooting all these people.
You know? So that type of stuff is interesting. It's like we're just easily manipulated. You know, fear is a big part. I think people are afraid to open their eyes and actually make a change, you know? Like, you can say, it's one thing to say, like, yeah, that's fucked up. But then again, you're like, can I live without the internet? You know, can I live without my flat screen TV and Netflix? I don't know.
Well, I think it's okay to have certain things, but I think there's an overindulgence in it. Like you said, things are made to be broken. So now, the thing that just seems like, well, I just want to have one computer. Now you're buying a new computer every year. You know what I mean? Because you're in that cycle. Yeah. So the only way to send a message is to stop doing it. Yeah. What do you think people are most afraid of about stopping? What do you think the scenario is in these people's heads that makes them go, oh, I have to keep doing this. I definitely need a meatloaf pan that is shaped like the perfect meatloaf. Bitch, what? When I was a kid, we just made it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's about a square.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's fear. It's fear of being left behind. Fear of, like, you know, there's this race, you know, and you don't want to be the one that's like, oh, you still using that pen? You know, I got this one. There is hope, you know? It's easy, you know, I can easily go like, we're all fucked, and I don't even know, maybe 5 years from now we ain't even gonna be here, like, shit is gonna be crazy. I came up in the spoken word scene, poetry, and the one thing that I found important to me, the one thing I was always interested in when I saw someone kicking a poem or something was, what did I learn about them after they left? Or was it just someone kind of using words cleverly and rithmically, but you ain't really saying shit? Yeah, and like,
not even clever.
Not at all. Just that whole meme thing on the internet, right? I saw one that was like, you know, it's quoting, but it's like, it was the truth. It was like they quoted, I don't know, like Queen, one of their songs, and like the lyrics were all like full like this. And then on the other side it was like Justin Bieber. and it was like, his lyrics were, baby, 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 oh, baby, baby, baby. That's it.
That's all there is to say.
Yeah, and it sold 1 million records. They're, you know, they're stuck in this old way of thinking. How, you know, I kind of picture like these guys execs with a cigar, and it's like, okay, I can see your name on lights. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, there's someone tweeting about it, and it's like, and he's like, what is that, Twitter? Oh, we gotta get one of those.